Hi, I have a quick question for you. Do you like ads? Do you like double ads even? But most importantly, do you like those gaming advertisements that look like they have been made by a bot in less than one day and don't make any kind of sense? No? Well, that's too bad, because I kinda like them, to be honest. It's been around 1 year that I started to analyze them in my spare time in order to pinpoint every flaws they have and how 90% of the time they ironically fail as promoting the game they are advertising, and that's pretty fun. It's a good time waster, and I would even recommend you trying doing that once in a while. And speaking of the devil, how about I'll show you what I'm talking about. Here, let's take this ad for example, that I just came across last day while browsing my Instagram feed full of memes. And in all honesty, this one is surprisingly, compared to some others, people would say, good. Of course, the judgment is based on the infinite numbers of ads I have seen, or more like endured, during the past year, so the bar is extremely low to begin with. But nonetheless, this ad being for once not just yet another Mafia City ad ripoff, nor a puzzle game ad template, one of those, it's a pretty huge plus in my book. But let's dive into the ad and analyze every major elements and main scenes that are supposed to make us, the potential consumer, wanna play the game and hopefully spend all of their child's alimony into their pay-to-win gems. While we analyze it, just keep in mind that a good ad needs to respect certain conditions in order to work as intended. Has to look alright, to make the product looks legit so it doesn't feel like a $1 commission on Fiverr. Interesting gameplay footage has to be present to better show the product to the potential consumers. Bonus point if there are elements teasing the players to play it, plus to throw some originality and humor into the mix, while still being brief and easy to understand for it to reach as many people as possible. Basically, that's the main goal an ad desperately needs to accomplish or reach in this day and age to stay in our brain for more than 2 minutes. Just kidding, the more awful they are, the better they fuck up our brain cells for a longer period of time anyway. So, let's go! The first scene immediately presents and centers around a woman wearing a wedding dress taking a cab. Her body gesture, defeated look, as well as the royalty-free music playing, probably called pianosadsong.mp4, do all a pretty good job at building up the setting and contributing to the visual storytelling. These scenes introduces the problem within the story that will then be solved in the latter scenes, with presumably, when we are looking at the title, a relaxing and nice cozy house that you'll need to take care. Oh, well, here goes the house, I guess. Anyway, now without an husband nor a home, because apparently she must have left the stove open herself, otherwise she would have no problem touching insurance money to repair it if it was a case of arson. Well, after this heartbreaking news, to say the least, she decides to do like every humans do when they are having a shit day, calling your loved one to complain about it. This also introduces us to the second main character, the grandma. And oh god, it pains me to say, but she's an interesting character to say the least. But now we are, after a smooth fade to black, delving into the second scene, presumably the resolution to this Oscar-worthy short animation. The main character is now wearing a cherry yellow shirt and receives a comically sized key from their beloved grandma, and upon its use on the gate that for some reason sounds more like a chest opening up than a rusty gate, the atmosphere drastically changes. The BGM becomes all cheery, the sky is now clear, and oh, thanks grandma. Nothing like trying to make someone feel better after a lost husband and stray home than to make her repairs your shitty dump of a place. Then the most boring and illogical moment starts off. It begins with the small house repairs montage, as well as an intermission of 4 seconds of gameplay. Wow, not 1, not 2, 4 seconds. And all of that for just showing off a really lame matching game that helps making people aware that if by any chance one day you uncover 2 identical centuries-old golden memento and mix them together, you can obtain an ancient box scribbled with hieroglyphs that may, if conveniently mixed together, once again, oh, also an identical one, it may reveal its contents that may or may not be a boring Walmart rack. I'm missing the words to express my disappointment right now. I almost feel like I've been cheated on after such a promising start. Come on. If you want to experience E3 again, just watch this ad to relieve the same emotion, I guess. And also, well, what's happening now? What the fuck? Why? Alright, honestly, just when I was about to give up on all hopes and keep on scrolling my feed, here comes the best part. The sunny and cheery atmosphere immediately gets replaced with a gloomy and depressing one, having for only source of light, almost one, the police car sirens reflecting on both characters. The grandma is seen as being arrested, and the woman in utter shock, of course, upon seeing what happens, but also upon learning the truth that will come up in like 1 second. This last scene is the climax of the ad, and serves at teasing the player to learn more about the game, naturally. At least, it's more creative than just cuckolding the player by either insulting him or just, showing a 1-year-old just playing a game. I may also know that the moment both characters are holding hands is a really nice subversion of expectation regarding the grandma character and her trying to not touch her girl's hand, but actually, dom the truth, explaining her the truth about, I don't know, just you have to maybe, download the game to find out, who knows. And then it's over, everything is cool and dandy. Please download the app and buy your in-game currency. We are kinda short of money after spending it all in this ad. Thank you very much and have a nice day. Whew, wow, what a ride. But let's quickly sum up what the ad got right based on the list I made up at the beginning. The graphics are definitely nice. The animation is smooth enough. Shaders are okay. The cartoony style is here. Even though nothing too crazy happened, the animation looks like it had been worked on more than 2 minutes. That's nice. Check. Gameplay footage is there, but only for 4 seconds, and is absolutely non-existent in terms of originality. So yeah, gameplay technically check, but because all of the originality is absent and just everything else devoid of any soul, it's just, no, moving on, it's check, but bleh. And the teasing aspects that I previously talked about, it's, yeah, check this twice again, because that's really the main point of the ad, really. It's almost comparable to a clickbait thumbnail? That's weird saying that. You just want to play the game to know what the heck the grandma did. Screw the story. Everything is with this grandma. She is carrying this ad and game more than I ever did in all my time playing League. She is the MVP and main protag at this point. She replaced everyone else. And thanks to all those elements, this brings us to the conclusion, and also to an opening to a newfound problem within this analysis. In the first place, we can see that this ad did remarkably well because, I'm talking about it right now, and those other videos on the internet also did, so that's kind of the proof of its at least average success, I'd say. But this also leads to another problem I realized while doing research and writing the script. This ad or at this point this type of ad, I should say, are just yet a new form of clickbait. Wow. This time it is not about solely lying about the gameplay, Mafia City, or enraging the consumer by showing someone playing the game badly, all of those shitty ads, showing real people or mostly girls playing the game to make it sound hip and trendy, but now it is just about drama and teasing stories that have close to nothing to do with the actual gameplay. It's just a mix and match game. And frankly, it is a goddamn step up from the shit I have been enduring all this time. It's just like this other ad that has been doing that also. Come on, even Game Theory got itself into it, so wow, this definitely worked. And it made itself talked about everywhere thanks to what? The story they were telling within the ad. And the humor, yeah, which I have to admit, will be okay if it wasn't an ad. And that's, in my opinion, the main reason they were seen as really distasteful and bad, because they had no place here to begin with. But anyway, that's gonna be for another time maybe. At least now developers, or ad makers rather, are focusing on another aspect of clickbaiting. I won't say it's creative, of course not. I will just say it's different. And honestly, I will watch those ads every day of the week compared to those ones. Do the experience yourself if you don't believe me. Final verdict. It is a good ad. Really, it's a good one. Now, if you will please excuse me, I need to clean my mouth with soap and cleanse my soul with some anime. Thank you very much, and have a nice night.